Hello, my name is Kate McGough and I'm a Senior Publisher for Nelson Primary. I'm here with Debbie Croft and Annie Fashionetti, the PM Writing experts that have created the teacher support materials available within the PM Writing Teacher Portal. Welcome, Debbie and Annie. Debbie, would you like to say a few words about your experience in education, and then Annie?
Thanks, Kate. I've been a classroom teacher for 23 years, and during the latter part of my teaching career, I actually specialised in teaching English. So I taught a number of classes on a rotational basis so that I was responsible in a particular area for teaching all components of English. I was privileged to be part of the original PM writing version, and then was thrilled to know that that was being updated and that I was able to be part of the new version. I believe that every child has the ability to read and write competently, providing they are issued with a structured and explicit teaching program. So I think this ticks lots of boxes in terms of creating comfortable language experiences for all students.
And I've had many roles in education over the last 20 years, from classroom teaching to languages teaching, and I'm currently the literacy and the teaching and learning leader at a school. I also recently completed a master's degree in education, specialising in allied school psychology. And I've also worked for 8 years as a NAPLAN writing marker, which gave me a real interest in and an understanding of how students of all ages approach writing. I have a diploma of writing and editing as well, and have worked as the editor of Australian Educational Leader. So I view the craft of writing through a lot of different lenses, which I've brought to PM writing. And I have a real passion for teaching writing to students. And like Debbie, I believe that they can all achieve with the right sort of support.
Thank you both. So we are excited to bring you the new enhanced edition of the award-winning PM Writing series, which has been used in schools for over a decade. And this new edition provides access to an online PM Writing teacher portal where everything you need to teach writing is available in the one place. On the portal, you can access digital exemplars for teaching writing that have a suite of editing tools for modelled, interactive and guided writing sessions. There are explicit differentiated lesson plans for each exemplar text. There are supportive videos that explore grammar, punctuation, the writing process and much more. There are pre-assessment and assessment tasks to determine your students' level of understanding. So let's talk a little bit more about some of these key features. The PM Writing lesson plans have undergone a rigorous update for the new edition. Debbie, it would be terrific if you could highlight some of the key features and updates for us.
Okay, the new lesson plans are a much more expansive component of this program. And as Kate alluded to, there are lots of sections of that that are differentiated to cater for students across the spectrum. There are guided lessons, modelled lessons, guided lessons and independent lessons, where students have access to modelling by the teacher, and then shared writing, guided writing in their own approach, and then where they come to a point where they can write independently. Within those, there are different levels of participation, so students can experience success and then want to write even more. The lesson plans are linked to specific scaffolds to show students how to plan and draft and edit and then publish their own writing. These scaffolds are just a click away on the teacher portal, and that makes them readily accessible. We also have an interactive writing proforma where students can learn to write their own independent texts. And one of the really terrific features I think that we have included this time round is the inclusion of learning intentions and success criteria that link very clearly with the different curricula that teachers are using throughout Australia.
Fantastic, thank you. And as part of our research when developing the new edition, many teachers spoke about adapting their teaching depending on the needs of all their students in their classroom. And they explicitly said they wanted a stronger approach to differentiation in the program. Annie, would you like to expand on this a little more?
Sure. Well, research shows that there can be a spread of anything from 3 to 7 years or even more in ability and achievement in one classroom. And I guess teachers know this because they deal with it every day. And that's why differentiation was identified as an area of need for PM writing. We've tried to make this as accessible and as easy to implement as possible by offering some segments of the lesson that can be done as a whole class and others that have targeted instruction for groups of students who are working towards the standard, who are at the standard, and who are beyond the standard. Depending on the needs of your class, then, you can follow one of these pathways together or group students and guide them using the lesson plans. Then the two main adjustments that we have through the differentiated pathways are in terms of the level of support given by the teacher and then the level of independence that students have as they write. All the students are working towards the same learning intentions and success criteria, but in ways that will maximise their opportunities for participation and success.
Fantastic, thank you. Our research also indicated that some teachers lack confidence when it comes to teaching language features, such as specific aspects of grammar or punctuation. Debbie, can you explain how we address this need in the new edition?
Sure. I think teachers will really enjoy the additional support that we've included in these areas. The language features have been systematically introduced. They're not just introduced randomly. There's actually a scope and sequence of when and how these language features are introduced, but they're also introduced through authentic and engaging text. They're not just plucked from the air, but they're in those model texts, and therefore they have explicit meaning and interest because they enrich the author's writing. There are activities provided to reinforce the students' understanding of language features, and we're also including some punctuation features that students encounter, but putting them into their editing skills as well, so that when the students complete some editing activities, they're using their knowledge of spelling, their knowledge of grammar, and also their knowledge of punctuation to make sure that their texts are as accurate as possible.
Wonderful, thank you. The new edition also provides easy to use pre-assessment and assessment tasks to determine students' understanding and to help teachers evaluate the impact of their teaching. Annie, would you like to provide an overview of our approach to assessment in this new edition?
Well, I know from my school, assessing writing can be quite challenging. So we've made sure that we do comprehensively in PM writing, but also not too onerously, because you don't want to spend too much time assessing and not much time teaching and allowing kids to write. So the pre-assessments are designed to help teachers quickly identify students' strengths and areas of need in terms of writing skills and knowledge. And at the emergent and early level, this also includes oral language because it's a really critical part of the sort of pre-writing skills as students develop. The assessments come with a simple checklist that aligns with the assessment tasks, and it gives you a really quick snapshot of the needs of your class as a whole, as well as of individual students. So the information then makes a great starting point for grouping your students for differentiation. Although, of course, your knowledge of your own students as a teacher is also really important. The pre-assessments can be used at the beginning of the year and again mid-year, so you can identify then areas of growth and further need. And it's a good way to take stock of the impact of your teaching as well, to look at that growth. Each of the lesson plans also has learning intentions and success criteria, as Debbie mentioned before. So we've built in ways for you to monitor student progress as you go, as well as a final assessment of each text type. The check-in assessments are really quick activities that you can use as formative assessment. And that'll help you know whether students are ready to move on to the next stage and for you to make any adjustments to your differentiated groupings as you go along. At emergent level, these check-ins are largely oral. And as students move up through the levels, they involve pairs or small groups of students in the activities. But we've also recommended some activities from the program that students can be undertaking to free up the teacher to work with students who are undertaking the assessments, so that can run smoothly for you and you don't have to spend a lot of time and lessons on it. The lesson plans have built-in text type assessments too. At emergent level, teachers are supported to assess students' ability to write simple sentences that innovate on text. From early level and up, each taught text type sequence provides an opportunity to assess a drafted and a published piece of writing in the text type. Exposed text types instead support you to assess students' contributions to shared writing of the text type. And then there's also a final quick assessment you can do to find out how well students understand and can use the language features of each text type.
Fantastic, thank you. And finally, we'll just briefly look at another new feature found in the PM Writing Teacher Portal. We've created a suite of videos. Some are targeted for students to view through the lesson plans, and some are written specifically for teacher professional support. Any other key features that you'd like to highlight with these?
Yeah, I think a lot of teachers aren't confident in their own knowledge of grammar, and the curriculum technology terminology has also changed over time. So we wanted to find a way to support teacher knowledge that's quick and easy to access. And the teacher videos that we've developed cover the key language features and grammatical concepts in PM writing that are integral to effective writing in particular text types. You'll find videos about basic terms such as nouns and adjectives, as well as more complex ideas like sentence types and clauses and phrases. We know how time poor teachers are though, so we've made the videos short and sharp, but we've ensured we've given you enough information to feel confident in teaching all aspects of writing. So then the same sorts of topics are covered in videos for students, and these are also short bursts of knowledge for students that actively engage them in thinking about and using different language and grammatical features. And they are very, very cute little short engaging videos for the students.
Fantastic. So that was a bit of a whirlwind tour of some of the key features of PM writing. And I just really want to thank Debbie and thank Annie for your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Kate.